Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to look at how to set up QBO for a new nonprofit company. It's a basic setup and it's an overview, so let's dive right into it. First, the disclaimers. This is an informational overview on setting up QBO for nonprofits, not accounting or tax advice. We have upcoming videos that talk about nonprofit chart of accounts and also include a sample that you can download and use. We also will talk about understanding grant accounting, restricted versus conditional grants, and 1099s. Here we are at the QuickBooks Online dashboard. I set up a company, my nonprofit, and we'll use that as a template to work through and look at how we set things up. So with that, let's start to look at the components. Up on the top, we have my nonprofit here, right there. And next to it, we have the logo. These are things that we can adjust as we do the setup here. Let's look at the client overview just to see what it has registered about us. It says it's a company setup, it's the basics. It has QuickBooks Advanced, Payroll Elite. There's some kind of a chart of accounts that came across with the default setting. Let's go over to the gear icon on the top right. This is an important icon. We'll be using it often. Key to setup. The first icon on the left there is Company Settings. Select that, and then we'll see some options, company notifications, payments, etc. down the left. We need to look at each. At company, this is where you set your company's name. So you can go in and type in your company's name, then use a business email right here, a business phone number, and your company's EIN or social security number, a business address, and then the legal name of the company and the legal business address, a website if you have one, a customer email, and a customer address. And finally, we have the tax info. This is important. You need to set this up for a nonprofit. So go ahead and select not a sole proprietor or a partnership or a small business corporation, but nonprofit organization because it generates a tax form 990. Once you've done that, you need to update your industry, and I would recommend using nonprofit. So then we save. In this case, we'll just exit. We'll go over and take a look at notifications. Notifications lets you set up an email address where you get notified when certain things happen, new assignments, due dates, details, status, etc. Next one is payments. This is to send payable invoices so that when you send an invoice, customer could click a button and pay you directly with their credit card or ACH, PayPal or Venmo. Leave it off for now for an initial startup. For banking, QuickBooks offers a bank. I would say initially stay with your bank and skip this session. Later on, as you grow, we can come back and revisit this. Next, sales. When we sell something, there's an invoice involved. And the question is, what are your preferred invoice terms? So you can set these defaults up in this section here. For now, I wouldn't change any of it. I would leave it as it is until you're up and running and it's clear what you need. You can also accept online payments if you activate it. It's an additional service fee. And then there are products and services. I would leave that unchanged too. We can come back and update those when your charity starts to become more involved with providing products and services. Then there's an option to turn on late fees for people who are late paying, track progress invoicing, messaging, reminders, etc. And now that we've got all that done, let's customize the invoice that we send out. The default invoice looks like this. It's that image on the right here. You can change that. You can change that by adding a unique logos, changing the splash color, that blue bar that you see. Let's make that green for now and see how that looks. There it is. And then you can also change your font. 4 fonts you can choose from, and you can also adjust its size. And then, of course, you could alternatively use a template. There are a number of templates available: Airy New, Airy Classic, Modern, Fresh, Bold, and Friendly. Let's add a logo. Click that logo tab, click Add a Logo, and click the plus sign here. And it opens up your directory so you can select the image you want to use. We'll use the Debs and Creds logo here, which is under the Sabrin directory, and resources. We'll pick that up and upload it, and it should appear on the invoice. Save. And we see that logo on the invoice, and we can adjust the size, small, medium, and large. Currently, it's large. Let's look at the modern option, how it changes the look, the fresh, the bold, and the friendly. I'd recommend you stay with the Airy Classic to begin, and we can customize this as you start to grow and it's clearer what activities take most of your billing. And then we can look at content. This is the content that you can edit on an envelope, etc., and then emails. When you send an email for a bill, etc., it'll include the full details, it'll attach a PDF, and you can also include a cover memo that's standard. The standard message will print each time you send an email, and you can view the PDF right here. And that's what that invoice would look like. If you're satisfied with it, you're good. If not, go back and change it till you get it just right. Let's exit. We don't need to save this. Let's go back to that gear icon, company settings. And now it's time to look at expenses. For expenses, there are a number of things you can toggle on and off. At this point, we would say don't change any of it. The defaults are good enough. Similarly for time. The advanced tab is critical. The most important thing is establishing your accounting method. It's a cash or accrual. Next is you don't want your customers called customers. You want them called donors if you're a nonprofit. And then you have marketing preferences, and then your accounting year, whether you are a calendar year or a fiscal year. And then there's chart of accounts. Account numbers are turned off. We'll cover this in a separate video on chart of accounts. Categories, we generally prefer to turn on categories. Some QuickBook operators like to turn on locations too, but we've been able to work effectively without that. Click that warn me when a transaction isn't assigned a class. And here we have a couple of automation things you can choose, but I wouldn't change any of those in round one. We wouldn't use projects in round one. Confirm that you're in US dollars and the date formats, etc., meet your expectations. Once they're done, we can click our way out of this. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the initial setup and you're ready to go. What you now need is a chart of accounts. So in our next video, we'll cover chart of accounts and we'll include a sample chart of accounts that you can download and use with your company. You'll have to customize it for your unique needs, but it's a great starting place. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please comment below with what else we could add. Thanks so much for watching.